Finally here. Yeah. um, sorry. Yeah, it took me a long time to draw. So, yeah, and if you see some of my drawings and see them, they're like a little bit iffy. Sorry. Sorry about that. They're what to say. I'm not really a good artist. I'm not an artist. I'm not an artist or a animator. So yeah, these pictures are basically all we could get because without getting that copyright shit. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, this is my fiction, and I hope you guys enjoy. All right, The Fallen Eagle by yours truly, me. All right. 34 years ago, the USA was a free and a safe place. Well, kind of. um, well, let's just say it was a okay place. The law enforcement and the armed forces made sure of that. But all of that had changed. September September 18th, 2014, I was in math class in small town high, Bloomington, Illinois. We were doing our lesson until 3:30 a.m. until another teacher came to our classroom and told our teacher, "You need to see the news." So he did. When the TV turned on, we saw it. The special forces had turned on us. And the government. They were gunning everyone down. The House of Representatives, the Speaker of the House, the President, the Vice President. Everyone was in shock. Sorry about that. As I was saying, everyone was in shock for 5 minutes until everyone went in a state of panic. During the chaos, a lot of people were trampled during. A lot of people were trampled from everyone running. The law and the law enforcement and the National Guard helped everyone to their homes safely and safe and sound. that After that day, the government had become the Dark Knight. That day, September 18th, 2014, was known as the Presidential Massacre. It took a toll on all of us. But you know what they say? When evil forms, good will rise against it. The National Guard, the Marines, and the U.S. Army became the Titans. Then the Second Civil War started. Boom, boom, boom. It is January 12, 2015. The Titan forces were stationed in the Midwest of the country, getting, getting ready to evacuate the towns, the cities, when the Dark Knight starts to attack. When the Titans when the Titans came to my town, we they started to go door to door to evacuate the town. We were getting ready. We were getting ready to leave. While we were getting our stuff ready, boom! An explosion just came out of nowhere, followed by gunfire. Pew 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 pew. Then there was a knocking. Then there was knocking at our door. Then there's a boom. I should have changed it. Oh well. My dad My dad ran to open it. There was a soldier standing there. Is everyone ready? He asked. My dad said yes. Then we grabbed our stuff and ran to the transport. When we went into the transport, we started to leave the town, but the people in the transport behind us weren't so lucky. One of the Dark Knight troopers shot them with an RPG, a rocket pack gun, or rocket launcher. The transport was a blazing of fire on wheels. Ah! The blast from the explosion lifted our rear axles in the air. We were off the ground for 5 minutes, but when our rear axles came back on the ground, we were out of sight and out of mind. We thought, um, ugh. The ride was 3 hours long, but we made it to Camp O'Brien. We thought it was a refugee camp, but we were wrong. It was a recruiting station. By the next day, January 13th, 2015, the Titans started to ask every man and woman if they would join the fight. The people that say they will join the fight will be staying in the camp until they get their assignments. But the people that didn't join were sent to their tents to pack, getting ready to go to a refugee camp in Arizona. When they asked my dad, he said, "I'll fight." Before anything else could happen, I jumped in. "No, Dad, you're old enough to be a veteran," I said. The recruiting officer gave me a glare. "Well, kid." Oh man, that's a funny face. Sorry. Well, kid, we don't have time to play games. It's your father's choice," said the officer. I looked down to the ground to think. I looked back up. Then I looked up and said, "Then I'll join. I'll join and take my father's place." My mom and dad looked at me. "Listen, what are you doing?" my dad asked while grabbing my shoulders. "Save your life, Dad. Look, this is war. It's not some game of checkers. This is life or death, and trust me, I don't want to see you in some stupid box. I lost my sister in the Navy, and I don't want to lose you too," I said while breathing heavily. My dad looked at me. Then he nodded, letting me know that he understand. "Okay, son. Well, good luck then," Dad said while hugging me. "So, are you joining?" The recruiting officer asked the officer. I cleared my throat and said, "Yes, sir." Then he gave me a slip. The slip. He gave me the slip and told me to go find Captain Sam. He will set you up. "Yes, sir," I said. Then I walked to the distance. But before I went to see Captain Sam, I went to say goodbye. I went to say goodbye to my parents before they left to Arizona. "See you later. See you guys later, Mom and Dad," I said while hugging them. "Goodbye, son," said Dad. They went on the transport and left. So I walked around the camp. Trying to find Captain Sam. Ugh, where is he? I thought to myself. Then, 7 minutes later, I found him. "Yeah." "Yeah, put those crates by the tent," Captain Sam told the soldier with the crates. Captain Sam was doing his things before I walked towards him. "Excuse me." Oh, hold on. "Excuse me, are you Captain Sam by any chance?" "Yeah." "Yeah." I put my feet together and saluted. The recruiting officer gave me this slip and told me to find sir. The recruiting officer gave me this slip and told me to find you. The captain nodded. The captain nodded. Uh, the captain nodded. "All right." May I see your slip? I gave him the slip. I gave him. I gave him the slip. He opened the. He opened the folded paper and started to read. Uh huh. Uh huh. Leston J. External. 17-year-old male. Strong. Quick. Alright, Leston. You're going to San Diego, California, said Captain Sam. I I was a little confused. I looked at him. Uh, permission to ask, sir? Permission granted. I took a deep breath and said, Why California, sir?" When I oops, there you go. When a helicopter came, he said, you're gonna find out. Let's go, rookie." So we got on the helicopter and left to California. I always wanted to do that. Okay. At 5:30 p.m., we made it to San Diego, California. Before before we went to our destination, Captain Sam asked me, "So, what's your story?" I looked at him. "What do you mean, sir?" I asked. "I mean, why did you join? I mean, you don't look eager to fight this war," said Captain Sam. I turned my head around to the buildings that we were passing. Well, after my sister died in the Navy, after my sister died in the Navy, 6 years ago, she went down with the ship USS Jones. We were designated for a while, and I didn't want my dad to go to war, so I took his place, I explained. So, whoops. Captain Sam said, "I see. You joined to honor your sister." I nodded. So we came to a base. After we landed, we went in the building. Bum, da bum, 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 da bum, bum, bum. Okay. We went. My arms are getting tired. Okay. When we came to the base, after we landed, we went in the building. The base was was huge. The ceiling was 15 stories high. Was 15 stories high. While we were walking, I heard a kind female voice. "You needed to see me, sir?" I looked around. There was a beautiful woman. "Yes, Nora. I have a task for you. This is Leston. Leston, this is Nora, your trainer. She will train you for this program." I was a little confused. "Sorry, sir. What program?" I asked. Captain Sam looked at Nora. She will get you caught up, rookie. Captain Sam left, but before he did, he told Nora, make sure you tell me his status in 3 weeks. She nodded. Then Captain Sam left. Nora looked at me. Hi, Leston. I will show you to your quarters. I smiled and said, lead the way, ma'am. She stopped and looked at me while smiling like she heard a funny joke. You don't have to call me that when we are not on the train floor, okay? I nodded. Then, when we came to my room, she showed what's in the room. A bed, a sink, a bathroom, and a closet. Somewhere. There's a closet here somewhere. Okay, we'll just pretend there's a closet right here. Okay? Just pretend there's a closet around this area. I got a little lazy. Okay. Um. Well, okay. After that, she told me. After she showed me my room, she told me the schedule. Apparently, it's mostly like school, but it's mostly physical, not mental, as much. After I got settled in, Nori came to my room, knocking on the door. It's open, I said. Wait. It's open, I said. Then she came in. Oops, wrong person. Oh man, that's fine. Oh, Leston, I forgot to tell you. You're gonna be training with a team. I forgot to tell you, you're gonna be training with a team. I thought about it for 2 minutes, then said, alright, thanks for the heads up. She nodded, then she left. When night when night came, I laid on my back with my arms arched behind my head. My with my arms behind arched behind my head while staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything. My parents, the train, and Nora. After 4 minutes, I shook my head and went to sleep. By the next morning, January 14th, 2015, I was woke up by an annoying alarm clock. Beep, beep, beep. Uh, uh, 5 more minutes, I groaned. Beep, beep, beep. Okay. I'm up. Jesus. After I changed and ate some breakfast, I ran to the train floor. I ran to the train floor, but I was the only one there. Oh boy. Oh boy. Please don't tell me I missed the train, I said to myself. Leston. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scare. I didn't mean to make you jump, Leston. But if people hear you, if people hear you talking to yourself, they'll think that you're crazy," said Nora. I started to laugh. Well, that's how I motivate myself. Then Nora giggled. Ha ha. Alright. Where are we? Okay. The team met up with us 3 minutes later. Shortly after that, Nora started to speak. Okay. Then Nora started to speak. Alright. Alright, team. First part of this team exercise is going to be about trust and team building. So which means you're gonna have to communicate. Learn each other names. Learn each other names. Alright, is everyone ready? Then we all shouted, "Yes, ma'am!" So when we got into the crew elevator, and started going down to the train floor. Hi, I'm Lustin. What's your name? Well, let me get rid of that one. Don't need that anymore. The big guy came up to me. Hi, I'm Nixon. Hi, I'm Kyle. Hi, I'm Kyle. Yo, I'm Mark. And then there's supposed to be more big. They must got mixed up, didn't they? Oh well. Oh well. I could just do this. Hello. Hello, I'm K Dodge. Hello, my good jump. I'm Mike. James. After we told each other our names, we came to the train floor. Nora led us into the train session. We were fighting these robots. Yeah, we were fighting these robots. Darn it. Hold on. My tablet. Okay. I hate the timer screensavers. Alright. After we told each other names, we went to the train floor and Nora led us into the train session. We were fighting these robots, trying to get the flag. We gave them all we got. But, darn it. Hold on. But, we didn't win. Mark got shot by one of the robots. That's shocking. But at least the blasters were on stun. At least the blasters from the robots were on stun. We were trained every day after breakfast. We were trained every day after breakfast for 2 years. By then, the Midwestern states started to get overrun by the Dark Knight. Pew, 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 pew. Titan soldiers yelling, "Ah! Let's go! Let's go! They're coming from the east gates! Come on! Come on!" May it was May 17, 2017. The team and I were still training, we started but we but we started to get better with trust and communications. We started to become a unit. A unit. A family. Brothers. Bros before turds. That is still gonna get me. We were going to be we were going to be ready to go into the field in 2 weeks, but it was cut short. The Dark Knight also had Navy ships after the U.S. Navy was decommissioned. The Dark Knight also had a spy named Kelly Johnson that disguised herself as a Titan. She was shipped to Arizona to the refugee camp, and she was ordered to reveal the camp's location. So with no orders, uh, with no questions, I would say. She was to reveal the camp's location with no questions. Yeah. She thought it was the dark. It was. She thought it was so the Dark Knight can take the Titans and make them reconsider allegiance with the Dark Knight. But she was wrong. Sir, I found the Titans refugee camp. It's in Phoenix, Arizona. Kelly said Kelly quietly. Good work. Good work, Kelly. We will send our ships there right away, said the Dark Knight General. But that was the last transmission from her general. But then she heard the siren went off. When when Kelly looked up when Kelly got out of the tent, she looks up and saw the missile going up in the air. Oh my god, Kelly cried. She ran to the motorcycle and left to the Dark Knight side. When the missile started to come down, everyone tried to get out of the camp. But these two mixed up. Then everyone was trying to get out of the camp, but it was too late. The missile hit the camp. and the whole entire world. And the whole entire world saw it. Great Britain, France, Russia, and other countries. The missile, the missile, the missile hit the camp. When the missile hit the camp, it struck all of us with anger. But me, I was beyond angry. But me, I was beyond angry. After what I just saw, I started to cry and punch the wall until my fist started to bleed. I felt my blood dripping. I felt my blood dripping. But with my anger, I didn't feel any pain. I started to look at my bloody fist. Then I felt a hand. On my right shoulder. I turned my head, and it was Nora. Her eyes were staring at me with tears. I'm so sorry about your family, Weston. She said while wiping her tears away. I didn't answer. Instead, I looked at my fist. Nora noticed my bloody fist, then looked at me. She looked at it, then looked back at me. She started to get closer to me, then gave me a hug. I know that you are upset about. Sorry about that, guys. I think it was because my light was heating up my camera, so... Okay, let's get back to where I was. Alright. I know that you are upset about what happened, but don't do this to yourself. Save your anger for the enemy, not yourself, said Nora while hugging me. I looked at her and collected my thoughts and said, Those mother bleep monsters are going down. Nora nodded. Let's go get your hand cleaned up and patched up, said Nora while patting my back. May 21st, 2017, 7:08 a.m. Kelly Johnson came to the Dark Knight HQ which used to be Washington D.C. Which used to be Washington D.C. She came in the front door and slammed her hands on the table. What the hell was that? We just murdered a bunch of innocent people and children, shouted Kelly with anger tone to her voice. General Viper stood up and said, Well, that's just because, well, all Titans and Titan followers must be destroyed, even if a few bratty kids get caught in the crossfire. Kelly clenched her teeth. That's horrible. That's horrible. You're a bleeping monster. I didn't sign up for this. General Viper laughed evilly. Ha 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 ha. A monster? Is that all you got, you little bleep? Kelly got angry. Yeah? Well, up yours. Viper glared at her and sat back down. Pressed a button. Dark Knight troopers came into the room. Agent Kelly, Agent Kelly, Agent Johnson isn't needed anymore. Dispose of her. Permanently, said Viper. The the dark the troopers started to shoot at Kelly, but she dodged every shot by backflipping. Then she started to shoot back. She started to run towards the exit, but it was covered by the troopers, so she made her own exit by jumping out the second-story window. Kelly let out a ah after she hit the ground. Then Kelly ran to her bike and left. And left. May 26, 2017. My team and I was deployed. Today, I am now 19 years old. What a birthday, right? Instead of cake and presents, I get to fight the Dark Knight. Our mission was to help the Titans in Nevada, which we came when we came to our destination, we started to get out of the transport. But before I came out, Nora was about to come with us. I stopped her and asked, What do you think you're doing? She cocked her shotgun. Showing you a poison battle. I looked at her. She looked determined, so I knew I wouldn't be able to change her mind. So I said, "All right then," while putting my hand on her left shoulder. So we got out of the transporter. After we stepped on the sand, I started to ask the troops, "Who's in charge here? Who's in charge here?" Um, One of the troopers walked towards me and saluted. "That would be me, sir. I'm Corporal Dotson." I saluted back. After we met up with the Titan troops, I asked Dotson, "So, what's the situation?" He gave me the binoculars and pointed to Las Vegas. The city was. Everything was upside down. This. Hold on, I'm gonna have to put this on pause. Sorry about that. I lost my way. Okay, this city was taken over the dark by the Dark Knight. By the Dark Knight. If we take this city back, we will be able to make it a place to regroup our troops to try to turn this war around. But there's a little problem. I shrugged my shoulders. What's the little problem? Dodson cleared his throat and said, "The city guarding has cannons guarding the entrance. Has cannons guarding the entrance. So we all can't go at the same time because we will all be blown to pieces. So we need the cannons gone in order to execute our plan." I took a look at the cannons and saw one of the Dark Knight's transporters, which gave me an idea. Which gave me an idea. I stood up and told Dotson plus my team to meet me at the command tent. After we went to the command tent, I started to share my plan. Alright. So since the cannon operators have long range sights, we can't sneak up to the city without being noticed. So we need to disguise ourselves as the Dark Knight. By jacking one of the transporters. And, sorry about that, guys. I was bothered again. Just wish I could just put a sign on my door saying "Don't bother me" while I'm doing recording. Okay, so as I was saying, let's get back to where the story now. Now I lost my place. Damn it! Hold on. By jacking one of the transports, and we will be in the city without being discovered. Then we will put some charges on the cannons. Destroy them. After the cannons goes boom, then Dotson and the rest of the troops can attack. After I shared my plan, everyone was on board. So So, um, then we got our gear ready to execute our plan. We left to find the transport, and with some luck, we found one. There was three Dark Knight troopers out of the transport. So I ordered Mike and Kyle to come with me and told the others to wait for my signal. The other three, the three of us, hid in some bushes. Hid in some bushes. Um, hid in some bushes next to the transport, and the troopers. We threw some rocks. We threw some rocks at the side of the cliff, and the troopers went to check it out. Aha! They were so dumb. It was hilarious. We came to the we came up to the troopers, and we both tapped their shoulders. They turned around, and we both punched them, causing them to go unconscious. After that, After that, I waved my arms, signaling the rest of the team to get to the transporter. We slowly went around the vehicle. Nixon, do your thing, I ordered. He smirked. Then he went in the transport. Next thing you know, the transporter started to move side to side, and the troops started to shout, "Ah! Ah! God, that smirks! Wait! I don't think my leg will go that way! Ah! That blade hurts!" Then Nixon grabbed the troopers' bodies, then threw them out. After he captured the transporter, after we captured the transporter, we started phase two. Try to get behind the cans without being caught. So, Kay put his disguise on. So Kay put his disguise on. Um, and went in the cab. While we were in the and while me and the others and the rest of the team hid in the back. We started to move into the city. The ride was a little bumpy, but we made it to Las Vegas. When we came to the entrance, the guard um the guard stopped us to talk to Kay. "Your loading card," said the guard. Kay shrugged a little. He reached his arm to the passenger's side and grabbed the card. "Here you go," said Kay. The guard read it. "Okay. Okay, go to lot 52. Drop off your load. K nods. All right. We we are in the city now. In the uh we are in the city. The the city. K parked the transport 1 block away from the cannons. Why is everything upside down? I must have put them upside down by accident. Okay. 1 block away from the cannons. Yeah. From the cannons. So we got out of the transport and started our plan. Mark, Nixon, Mike, you three go to cannon 2 and plant the charges on it. Kay and Nora, you two are with me. We will plant the charges on cannon 1. Alright, let's do this, I ordered. We split up and went to the cannons. We planted our charges. We planted our charges on the cannons and waited for the other three on the cannon and waited for the other three to tell us that their charges are set. And 5 minutes later, our charges are set and ready to blow, said Mike. I nodded. All right, we will destroy on my count. 3, 2, 1. Boom! The cannons are destroyed. So, oh. So Dots and the others. So the Dotson and the others started to attack. Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 boom. Titan, Titan and Dark Knight, Titan and Dark Knight Soldier screaming. Get him. You're going down, you Titan. Scum. At 5:30 p.m., the Titans won Las Vegas. Had won Las Vegas. One. Me and my team were grouped in the town square. A Titan trooper found a woman hiding under a bridge. Sir, I found someone, said the Titan trooper. I looked at the woman. Please let me go, she cried. I was. I walked up to the trooper. What's going on? I asked. The trooper told me she works for the Dark Knight, sir. Before I could say anything, the woman started to speak again. And sorry about my shadow. I don't have my flash on because it will overheat my camera. The woman started to speak again. I am a ex Dark Knight soldier. I don't fight with those monsters anymore. I looked at the woman. Then I looked back at the trooper. Let her go. I got her, I said. The trooper nodded and let her go. And lets her go. What's your name? I ask. She looked at me and said, My name is Kelly Johnson. I crossed my arms. Why did you quit the Dark Knight? I asked. She was hesitant at first, but Kelly answered my question. I was a spy and disguised myself as a Titan to reveal the refugee camp in Phoenix, Arizona. After the missile, I knew I couldn't live with myself dark with the Dark Knight anymore. I stepped back and started to feel anger. You helped the Dark Knight to kill my parents? I shouted with anger. Dark, Kelly looked at me. She knew I was hurting. She started to cry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know that they would do it. Mark came up to me and asked, what are we going to do with her? I didn't answer. Instead, I walked towards her and reached my hand to her. She closed her eyes, thinking that I was going to hit her. But when she opened her eyes, she saw my hand in front of her. Kelly was confused, but she grabbed my hand anyways, and I pulled her back on her feet. I started to speak. Look, Kelly, what happened was messed up, but I do forgive you. Kelly wiped her tears away. Thank you, she said. I looked at her. Don't thank me. Just don't make me regret this decision, I said. 6:07 p.m. I was walking in the city to clear my head. To clear my head. To clear my head. In the city to clear my head. Then I met up with Nora. I can't believe you forgave her after what happened, Leston, said Nora. I shrugged my shoulder. I shrugged and looked at the sky. It wasn't her fault. She was just following orders. That she thought the Dark Knight was trying to talk to the Titans peacefully, but the Dark Knight did the opposite of that, I said. Before Nora could say anything else. Pew! Leston, look out! Ah! Yelled Nora. I caught Nora. Nora? I looked up and saw a sniper. I grabbed Nora's pistol and shot at the sniper's head. Then I looked back at Nora. Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Medic! I shouted. The medic told me to take her to the medical tent, so I did. Then they did everything they could. I hate this timer on my tablet. Lieutenant Luston, the medic said. I turned to him. How is he? How is she? How is she? I asked. The medic took off his helmet and put it by his chest. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. We did all we could, but her wounds were too great. She doesn't have enough time. I went to the tent and told the medic, please, wait outside. The medic nodded. Yes, sir. He left. I walked towards Nora's bed. Hey, I said. She looks towards me. She, she looks at me. Hi, Leston, said Nora. I sat next to her and grabbed her hand. Why did you save me? I asked. She looked at me. Because I couldn't bear to see my best friend die. I couldn't bear to see my best friend die, Nora said. I started to tear up. It's okay, Leston, Nora said, while putting her hand on my cheek. I started to hold her hand. That's on my cheek. But then her hand just got heavier. And her eyes started to close. Goodbye, my friend, I whispered to her. I whispered to her. I stood up and left the tent. I walked and go for a walk. I went to the Statue of Liberty model and sat on the bench next to it. It is 9:00 p.m. Kelly was walking and saw me sitting alone on the bench. She walked towards me. Then she sat next to me. Are you alright? Asked Kelly. I didn't answer. I just looked down to my feet. You know, if you want to talk, I'm here for you, said Kelly. I started to talk. My name is Luston, I said. Kelly started to smile. That's a nice name. Is it sweet? Is that Swedish? Asked Kelly. I looked at her, then wiped my eyes. Thanks, but thanks and no, it's finished. But you were close. I chuckled a little. She started to smile. She started to smile because Kelly started to get something that she always wanted, a friend. She started to ask, um, why? Uh, she stopped herself. I started to look at her. What's up? What's up? I asked. She inhaled. She exhaled. Why did you join this war? Asked Kelly. I was silent for a little bit. I was silent for a little bit. She looked at me with hope. I looked at her, at the night sky. The stars were very beautiful. Um, then I started to speak. I joined because my sister died in the U.S. Navy 8 years ago. 8 years ago. When her ship, the USS Jones, sank. And I didn't want to lose my dad too, but, well, I guess. Well, I guess. But I guess I was going to lose him either other way. But if I didn't join, I would have been with them, I explained. Kelly, Kelly put her left hand to her mouth to gasp. Oh, Leston, sorry about your family, but don't talk like that. Ever since you joined, ever since you joined, we we are finally getting a chance to fight and hopefully turn this war around. You also gave me a chance to redeem myself. If it weren't for you, I would have been in the break or killed. You gave me a new life. And I don't care what anybody thinks. You're the best trooper in the military, said Kelly. I looked at her. I looked at her, then gave her a hug. Then gave her a hug. Thank you, I said. Then she blushed. We started to laugh once more, and we started to talk once more, and shared some laughs. After that, we went to our sleeping quarters. The next day, May 27th, 2017, we started to take some eastern states. Starting from we started to take some eastern states. Starting from Nevada. The battles in the states were so treacherous. It was tough, but we've been winning most of the battles. We've been winning most of the battles, but with high costs. We've been losing a lot of troopers. But the worst battle was the Battle of Chicago, Illinois. Was the Battle of Chicago, Illinois. December 24th, 2017. We were stationed in Tinley Park. We tried a couple days earlier to clear the Chicago suburbs, but we failed. The Dark Knight troopers had tripled their numbers, and we couldn't take them head on. We were running low on we were running low on ammunition, and we've been losing a lot of troopers as well. This mission and war was almost over, so we thought. But we started to get hope. The countries that saw what was going on in our war started to help. Great Britain started to help by sending troopers. But on the Pacific side, the country, on the Pacific side of the country, China started to send us some supplies, ammo, food, and ammunition for our troops. And then Russia started to send their navy with Great Britain to attack the Dark Knight. When me and the troops were still in Tinley, the reinforcements had came. Who's in charge here? Asked the British soldier. I walked towards him. That would be me, sir. Lieutenant Leston is the name, I said. The soldier looked at me and asked, What's your order, sir? What's your order, sir? I looked at him and said, We need to take down the enemy in the suburbs first. Then we'll take the city. The soldier nodded his head. All right, then. Let's take these bloody creeps down, said the soldier. I nodded. So we started to attack the Dark Knight in the suburbs. So we started to attack the Dark Knight in the suburbs. And so we started to attack the enemy in the suburbs first. So we started to attack the Dark Knight in the suburbs. It took us all day and night. After we cleared 7 parts of the suburbs, we made we set up camp for all 12,000 troops. Back in the Dark Knight HQ, December 25th, 2017, one of the DK troopers came into the Viper's planning room. Sir, sir, we have a situation, said the DK trooper. What is it? What is it? What is it? This better be good, Maxius, said Viper. It is, sir. The Titans had taken over the Chicago suburbs, said Maxius. Then Viper stood up. And walked to the window of what used to be the Oval Office. Send extra security to the city of Chicago, Viper ordered. Maxius saluted and left. Oh, come on. Viper had a message from one of the DK's Navy ships. Sir, we are on heavy fire by the boom. Ah! Communication was lost. Then Viper turned off the communicator. What the hell is going on? He asked himself. By 5:30 p.m., we started to attack the DKs in the city of Chicago. We started to attack the DKs in Chicago. It took a long time to take the city back. We cleared the city fully on January 18th. On January 2nd. Excuse me. On January 2nd, 2018. But the Battle of Chicago was the bloodiest. We lost a lot of troopers that day. But we won. After the battle, we set up camp and left the next day. January 3rd, 2018, 7:05 a.m. We started to go fight the DKs in Indiana, and it took us 3 months to take over Indiana. April 17th. By April 17th, 2018, We went to fight in Michigan. We've been fighting the DK troopers for 2 months. By that time, we started to get air support. When we came to Detroit, the DK forces had 9 cannons and 5 tanks. They had 5 tanks. We were stuck, but we didn't lose hope. Like in Tinley, instead of retreating, we called in an airstrike. Delta Squad, Delta Squad, we need an airstrike on our position, 55.6 north, 65 clips, 55.6 clips north from your location. I ordered. Roger that. On our way, said the fighter leader. Then we heard the roar of the plane's motors. When we came, when they came, they shot rockets at the cannons and the tanks. After that, the, after that, the DK troopers. After that, the DK troopers. After that, the DK troopers surrendered. After that, the DK the DK troopers had surrendered, and Michigan was ours. It's June 17th, 2018, Father's Day. Father's Day. Everyone had gotten their letters from their wives and children. But me, I didn't get any because I don't have children. I don't even have a wife since since I went to war at a young age. But if I survive this war, maybe I'll be lucky. But the war ain't over yet, so I guess I have to watch how this will play out. While thinking to myself, Kelly came Kelly came and sat next to me, started to speak. And she started to speak. Are you alright? Are you alright? Are you alright? You haven't said anything since this morning. I turned to look at her. Yeah, I'm fine. I was just thinking, that's all. I chuckled a little. I chuckled like a goof. Then Kelly looked at me with a concerned look on her face. She grabbed my hand. Are you sure, Leston? You know you could tell me anything, right? I exhaled. It's just, these guys are lucky. I mean, when this war is over, they will go home with open arms from their families. And me, I don't even have a home to go back to, or a family. I cried. Kelly hugged me. Oh, Leston. Oh, Leston. It's alright. Besides, you're a great person. You might find love after this war, said Kelly. Thanks, Kelly. You're a great friend, I said. She looked at the horizon and muttered, Yes, friend. By June 24th, 2018, 8 o'clock a.m. The DK Navy fleet was destroyed. The DK fleet was destroyed by the British and the Russian ships, but the ships were stopped. But the ships were stopped by but the ships were stopped by were stopped by a barrier between them and the Atlantic coastline. And their fighters started to refuel and try to destroy the barrier. By we started to fight in New York by August 17th, 2018. We took over New York. August 23rd, 2018. We went to New Jersey and we fought in Boston. Then we fought in Boston. Then we took Boston, New Jersey by October 13th, 2018. The DK forces started to crumble. They started to retreat to Virginia by October 27th. To Virginia. By October 27th, 2018, the British and the Russian ships made it through the barrier. Then they started to set foot in Georgia and started to go up north along the coastline while we went south. We started to push the DK troopers back. 4 months to it took 4 months to head to Washington D.C. When we came to the DK's HQ, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking to see what happened to our beloved country's capital. It is now January 16th, 2019. The last battle. The last battle of the war. The Battle of Fallen Eagle. Name drop, take a drink. um, Before this battle started, we set up camp next to the parts of the city that we cleared. Captain Sam came into the command center, in the command tent, and started his speech. My brothers and sisters, we had came a long way, but all we had all went through a lot. But we won many battles in this flipping war. All but one. This battle is going to be rough, and I can't promise anyone that you will see your families after this. But if you're with me, say aye. After Captain Sam's speech, we all lifted our rifles in the air over our heads and said, aye! 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 Oops, okay. At 4:30 p.m., we started our attack. At 4:30 p.m., we started our attack. The infantry and the vehicles started a charge at the enemy's HQ. At the enemy's HQ, the DKs started to swarm. The DKs started to swarm out of their HQ like bees from a beehive. We shot our first rounds at the DK troopers. We shot our first rounds at the DK troopers. Then they started to shoot back and started to melee us. After after we after after we got through their defenses, Kyle fought like a beast until Viper came. When Viper came, Kyle started to attack Viper foolishly. I tried to help him, but Mexia stopped me. You're going down, Titan scum, said said Mexius. I looked at him fiercely. Okay, ugly, let's do this. Let's dance, I said while dropping my rifle and grabbing my sword. We started a fight. Then Mexius started to get recklessly, which gave me a chance. I stopped his sword with mine. I stopped his sword with mine, then punched him. Then I punched him with my right hand. He fell to the ground unconsciously. After that, after that, I went to get my rifle. I ran to help Kyle, but he was already on the ground. Viper started to raise his sword to stab Kyle. But before Viper could stab Kyle, I aimed at Viper and shot at him. But he dodged my shot, then started to shoot at me. I dodged every one of his shots and ran to cover. While I was drawing his cover, Kyle came up came up to Viper unexpectedly and stabbed him through his chest. All I could see was blood coming out of Viper from both ends, his mouth and his chest. The look on Cal's face was anger, but I don't blame him. If I was thrown, I don't blame him. If I was thrown like a rag doll, meow. Just so we know, a rag doll is actually a breed of cat. Just let you know. That's why I draw a cat. Just make it like a pun. um, if you got it from the first time, you know. Then I would have been angry as well. After Viper's death, after Viper's death, Mexius tried to shoot me, but Kelly stopped him. Remember me, you bleep! Oh shit! shouted Kelly. Mexius tried to attack her, but That was a mistake on his part. Because you rather mess with a grotto cat than mess with her. She grabbed his arm and flipped him on his back, causing his arm to break. Ah! Kelly held him down with her foot on his chest. So, what should I do with this one? Asked Kelly. I looked at Maxius and looked at Kelly. Tag him and bag him, and with the others. I said. Kelly nodded. Kelly nodded. Then she grabbed Maxius. Come on, you bleep, said Kelly. The battle took all day. The battle took all day and night, but we won it. Won. It's now January 17th, 2019. Me? Wait. Did I say 19? No, it's now 16. Okay. It is now now it's it is now January 17th, 2019. Me and my team went back to San Diego, California. We washed up and rested until the next day, January 18th, 2019. We we were at the reward ceremony. Me and the rest of the Titans received medals, then started to leave to our homes. But before I left, I said goodbye to Mark, Nixon, Kyle, and Kay. I told them to visit me sometime. We shared some laps, then it was time for us to leave. But before I went to the transportation, I saw Kelly, and I walked to her and said, Thank you for saving me. Thank you for saving my life back there. She started to smile. You're welcome, Leston, said Kelly. We hugged. I started to ask Kelly a question. She looks at me. Um, would you like to go out sometime? I asked. Kelly started to look at me with a shock, then started to cry. Then she started to cry. While smiling. Yes, 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 I've been waiting for you to ask me for the longest time, Kelly said while hugging me. I smiled and put my arm out in a right angle to hug her. Well, I guess we don't have to wait much longer, I said. We all chuckled. Me and Kelly were dating for a while until May 14, 2027. By that time, me and Kelly were married. Then June 13th, 2031, me and Kelly had two kids. Larry, Larry and Laya. They're they're twin brother and sister. Every now and then, every now and then, I visit. Every now and then, I visit my mom and dad in St. Paul's Cemetery in Bloomington. Their gravestone reads John and Mary, John and Mary, external. 1967 to 2014. It's been 17 years since my parents died. Sometimes I bring Larry to the graveyard and he asks, "Hey Dad, what's hey Dad, what was Grandma and Grandpa like?" I smiled. They were many things. Your grandpa was very goofy at times, and your grandma would change your bad day into a good one, into a good one by being herself, I explained. Then when we went back, then when we went back home, we all lived happy ever after. The end. March March 21st, 2048, present day. Oh wow! Oh wow, Dad! That was some story, but can you tell it again? Yes, Daddy, please. Yeah, Daddy, please. Ha ha ha. Maybe next time. Besides, you two need you two need to rest up for school tomorrow. Bef- Both Larry and Lila. Oh, oh, oh. Alright, I'm gonna charge this up for a second. I hope this doesn't do any. No, what? Oh, good night. Good night, both Larry and Lila. Good night, Dad. Good night, Dad. I see you've been I see you've been telling the kids about the war, huh? I see you've been telling the kids about the war? Well, yeah. They are in high school now, and plus it is part of their exam, and plus it is part of their lesson that they're learning right now in high school. Well, well, that's true. Well, true. Well, good night, dear. Good night, honey. The end. I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys like the story. If you do, please put a like. If you have any concerns, just put a comment. Just comment down below in the comment section. And um, if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe. This is Larry, and I'm out.